Hello and welcome to my explanation video on how I implemented all the audio to this game world which I had in Unity. I used Ableton as the music production tool, Fmod as middleware, and Unity for this game world. As you can see, I have used all the trigger boxes in this project. Like you can see one of these, all these trigger boxes and audio emitters emit different sounds and trigger different sounds as we walk around the game world, from footsteps to animal sounds to bird sounds to different snapshots which trigger the different kind of sound as you go inside a place and you exit. Different 3D emulators emit the sounds in a different way. As you go close, it increases the intensity. As you go far, it reduces. I've also used the distance parameter, which I'll speak about more when I explain it on my Fmod project. And different trigger boxes, as you can see, and the spherical trigger boxes trigger different elements, which will be more clear as we walk through the whole Unity game project. So this is my Fmod project. Over here we can see I've arranged all the Foley sounds, NPC voices, footsteps, weapon sounds, background music in different ways. It's really important to keep them in a group together so that it's easier once you start triggering them using Unity, so that they are all arranged in a similar way. As you can see, there are different trigger boxes in my project, which trigger elements differently as we go through from the first few footsteps and the distance parameter, which will be more clear once I speak about the background music. All these clubs, the groups, have to be managed like mentioned before, so that it's easier for functioning later and implementing them to Unity. All these groups consist of all the sounds required for the game, from gun holster for the guns to different ambient sounds, from frogs in the pond to any of the things required to make it more realistic, from insect sounds to bird sounds, everything scattered around in the island so that it gives more realistic feel. Everything used with the multi-instrument tool in the Fmod, so that it triggers differently according to how we set it to be in a shuffle mode or whatever we choose for. Even it depends what outcome you're going for the things. So let's go for the background music for the game. It consists of like different trigger points and transition markers and transition regions. Transition markers are in white, the regions are in green, and the blue ones are the transition loops. Every transition region has a trigger. Once we go closer using the distance parameter, it changes. As you can see, the initial music will stick to the transition loop in the beginning till the time it is given a code to first step equal to 1. That is, the player has taken the first step so that the music can go ahead into a something serious tone, or else it will just be looping in the same transition loop we have set for. As the distance parameter changes as we are far from the main character in the beginning, the transition region shifts to the next music. There might be a bit of a lag because of some sort of a RAM issue, but this is how the transition works on. Once the game is played, I could go through how it changes easily. So the intensity increases as you go close by, as the distance parameter reduces. towards the main boss. The transition marker is made to push the track forward. See, all the tracks are lined up according to the intensity so that it shifts as you go closer or far from the main character. As you increase the distance parameter, that is, you're going far from the main boss, the music again shifts back to the calmer adventure side of the music. And as the island parameter triggers in, once you walk to the small tiny island called the party island in the game, the music shifts totally to a different track, merging in, showing a different vibe or different world that side. It is just to give the feel of a transition. And once you walk inside to a party zone in the island, you would see that the sound goes to zero, so that because the different party sound is triggered once you reach the island, which will be more clear once we play the game walkthrough and understand the whole thing. It's quite important to understand using the different parameters to trigger the whole sound as we move through the island to give it more realistic, more game feel. Apart from that, there are some NPC sounds used.
Well, we're here. There's a village nearby. Talk to the elf there. He can help you go and defeat the beast.
Yeah, so the NPCs basically help you guide through the whole island. The gorilla sound has cone angle attenuation. Basically, the sound would be in an angle from the emitter. So if you are behind or to the side, the emitter will change the cone angle accordingly. Apart from NPCs, different gun sounds edited according to how they should sound are placed in different sections. That is pretty much it from the F mod, really. With the background music running here and different sounds, we could go to Unity and quite understand the whole game walkthrough so that it's more clear and more understandable in reality on how it works in the game.
Well, we're here. There's a village nearby. Talk to the elf there. He can help you go and defeat the beast.
As you could see, it was the NPC being triggered with a trigger emitter, with the Fmod Studio emitter linked to it. The sound of the footsteps changes from the wood to the grass as we walk by. Again, a different emitter for the footstep sound alteration. As you run, the footstep, of course, gets triggered depending upon which part of the map you are walking on, as they are linked to the sound. You get the insect sounds as you walk by, the footstep changes as you get into the water, and as you walk to the beach. Everything is by different emitters and different trigger boxes. Like I was speaking before, they just trigger the sound differently as you walk through, so individually has to be changed in different places. As you go close to the fire, the sound increases, the intensity increases of the fire. It's again a 3D emulator sound. As you go inside the house, the snapshot triggers in the F mod, changing the EQ of the sound. So the EQ of the fire, which is outside, will change as soon as you're indoors, and vice versa, to give that difference from the indoor to outdoor in the sound. Even the floor sound changes over here as you walk inside and outside.
Thank God you're here. The robot has the villagers safe past the frog pond. He knows where the beast is too.
These are again the 3D audio triggers, as you can hear when you move close by.
The robot has the villagers
And
safe past the frog
change your
pond.
side.
He knows where the beast is too.
The sound moves as well. These are done by the 3D trigger box sounds in the Fmod and Unity together. We got to go by the frog pond, where you can hear the increase in the insect sound. As you get in, the water sound is emitted by the trigger boxes, similar to the different ones we were talking about. So as we walk, all the sounds you hear by the character jumping or walking around is Foleyed and edited in Ableton, then added via Fmod to the track. The gunshift sounds had been made with different plugins and then added into Fmod to be integrated into the game.
The beast is there. Go defeat it. I have things under control here.
As we are approaching closer to the target, the music has changed now. It's more like an adventurous side of the track, and you could hear as we walk close to the target, the music would get more intense. Changes as well, even that is from one of the parameters from Fmod. As you walk away, it reduces again. As you reach the forest, the change in the ambience is by other different parameters again, different trigger boxes again. You could hear the sound of branches and like twigs crackling, owl, different birds, night birds. The treasure box, it had a stinger sound as you saw. Again, walking back to the same part, the whole different insect sounds, bird sounds, the scattering, it's all to just give the realistic ambience and the feel of it, to try to replicate this as better as possible. Walking to the island, you could hear the footstep sound changes, the main music transitions. Yeah, so the transition is again done by trigger parameters linked to the Fmod and the background shifting. And as you walk inside the dance area, the music shifts to 0. To trigger the dance music, you need to shoot elf. And as you could hear it, the sound is again 3D emulated, so in the quad speaker it would be from the 4 different sides pointing towards. So if you face different side, you can hear the speaker moving off, or if you step out, it does sound like the party is happening on that end. So this can again be done by 3D sound emulators in the speakers. Well, that's it for this time in this video. I hope the explanation helped you understand, at least in the basic way, on how different sounds can be added into the game world. For any further queries, on how each and everything was worked upon or designed or added on to the game on this game world, please feel free to contact on my website and we could discuss further. Thank you.